I don't know about you, but when it comes to doing my son's stocking for Christmas, I never know what to put in there. And I usually end up buying loads of snacks or treats and loads of other junk that's not played with after a couple of hours. So I went down a bit of a rabbit hole and I started researching different stocking fillers to help me with my son, and I found a lot more than I was expecting. And in today's video, I want to share those stocking filler ideas with you. Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a solo mum to one, and on this channel, I talk everything budgeting, saving, frugal living, and at the moment, everything to do with Christmas. So if you like that kind of thing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to split these ideas into different categories, and the first category I'm going to talk about is the under fours. The first thing you could put in their stocking filler is a load of bath toys or bath essentials. So putting some bath books in there, putting lots of different bath toys that kids are going to love when they're in the bath. You could also get bath bomb, bubble bath, and in Home Bargains you can actually get bath string. I think they do it like an Avengers one. And they've got all different colours. You pop that in the bath and it turns the bath water different colours. These are things that you could put in their stocking to get them excited about having a bath, because I know that it can be a bit tricky to get them in there sometimes. The next thing you could put in their stocking is some books. So go into the charity shop or go into a place like The Works and buying a bunch of books for your little one. You could buy ones that have different touches and feels. I know that when I had my son, I used to buy lots of different books, and some were furry and they had all different textures inside the books that he could feel. And at that age, they love looking at all the pictures and they love the parents reading to the children. So buying some books from the charity shop or some cheap books from The Works is something else you could put in their stocking. Another one is to put little mini tubs of Play-Doh in. So I remember my son used to love Play-Doh. He used to put a plastic mat down on the floor or do it at the table, and he just used to squish and squash things. We also got some old cookie cutters where he would cut things out of the Play-Doh as well. It's a great little thing for them to have. When Christmas is all over, they can sit at the table and they can use their Play-Doh. The next one is to get some stickers and even a sticker book. So little kids love stickers, and to get a sticker book where they've got to put the stickers in the right shapes and they've got to line it up. Little kids love that kind of thing. My son and my nieces used to love it when they were a lot smaller than they are now. And my youngest niece still loves stickers. So putting some stickers in that you can get in Poundland, or putting a sticker book in that you can get from Home Bargains, is a very cheap stocking filler to put in. The next one is to put some wooden puzzles in. These are in lots of different charity shops and you can get them in the bargain stores. My son and my nieces had them all the time. It's little wooden puzzles with little tiny handles on, and you had to put them in the right shape. It's great for their motor skills. So if you've got a child under 4 and you're looking for some stocking fillers, putting a couple of wooden puzzles in is really going to benefit them. The next one you can do is put in some socks and maybe even some mittens. Maybe put in socks which are a little bit firm, maybe some Christmas socks. Or if they like something particular like Bluey or Peppa Pig, you could put some Peppa Pig socks in their stocking, and I'm sure they're going to love them. The next one is to put in some crayons. This could be just basic pencil crayons or wax crayons, but I remember I bought my niece some washable markers because she used to love using marker pens and highlighters. So I picked her up some washable ones, so for any reason she was going to get it over the floor, the door, the wall or whatever, because the kids that age are just trying to experiment. These washable markers were very good for that, and you can pick them up in the bargain stores now. The next idea is to put in some kind of cars or animals or little princess dolls, nothing that's over expensive, but you can pick up some big tubs of farm animals or zoo animals, or you could pick up some little tiny cars. You can get a pack of 5 cars for like $2.99 or something, and if you take all the cars out the packaging and put them all in separately, it's going to make it look a lot more than it is. So if your child likes cars, like animals or anything else like that, then go shopping and see if you can find some little cheap things that you can put in their stocking. Okay, the next one is to add in some healthy treats. So the things that children at that age like now. So my son used to love tomato wheels and carrot puffs and maybe little raisins, some fruit yo-yos or fruit stars or anything like that. Putting a few extra little treats in their stocking, they're going to absolutely love it. The final one of this category is musical toys, and again you can pick these up in local charity shops or even bargain stores, but maybe some rattles, some tambourines, maybe a little mini guitar or something like that. You could actually put that in their stocking, and yes, it will be a little bit noisy, but it's something that kids will absolutely love. I remember my son absolutely loved all the musical toys I bought him. Let's move on to the next category, which is ages 5 to 8 years. So if you've got someone that you have to do a stocking for that, these are different things that you can put in their stocking. First thing you could do is just do some card games. So this could be a simple pack of cards where you can do pairs, you can learn how to play solitaire, do snap. And my dad used to teach us rummy when we were kids. I have no idea how to play it now, but I remember him teaching us how to do that. Or you could get some top trumps, or you could get Uno. You could get in some card games. There's some really cheap ones at the moment in Home Bargains, or you could get some £3 ones in B&M, and they have things like catchphrase, sports trivia, and all those different things. So if you want to go and buy some card games to put in the stocking for your child, then that's a really good idea. The next one is to put in some craft kits. So if you have a child that absolutely loves doing some kind of craft, especially at the moment, there's lots of different craft things that children can do, but maybe going out and buying a few little mini craft things that they could experiment with, that they could learn to do, and putting them in a stocking is something that they're really going to like. The next one is to put in some small Lego sets. So nothing too big, nothing too expensive, but you can buy little mini Lego sets these days for like £3 or £4. You can get them in Smith's Toy Store. You can even get them in some bargain stores as well. And sometimes even supermarkets put them in their shops too. But maybe buying some little mini Lego sets, if your child likes to build things, would be something that they can keep themselves busy with once they've opened everything else that they need to open. The next one is to put in some stationery. So pens, pencils, colouring pencils, felt tip pens, maybe a new pencil case if they take a pencil case to school or anything. Or you could even get some personalised pens, or you could get some fun like unicorn pen, princess pens, or something like that that they could have in their stocking too. The next one is a magic trick. So I actually saw these in Home Bargains the other day. They were £1.49. My son has pointed out the big magic trick box in Home Bargains the last few times I've took him in, but I'm not sure whether he would enjoy it. So I saw these little practice ones for £1.49, so I bought them to put in his stocking to see whether he likes it or not. And I thought it'd be something really good for him to try before I go out and buy him a bit more of an expensive set. The next one is to buy some small action figures. So you can get some small action figures for these days for like £2.99, £3.99. They're not overly expensive, but some action figures or some princess dolls or whatever they're interested in, get a smaller version of it from the bargain stores, or even go to your local charity shop and put a few of those inside their stocking. The next one is to put in some pocket books in there, such as some little joke books or some little short stories. Again, you can pick these up relatively cheap in places like Poundland, or you can pick them up in the Works as well. I've actually got my son a football book, and it's got lots of puzzles in there and lots of facts and stuff, and I think it cost me £2 in the Works. So buying little things like that and putting them in their stocking with a hobby that they're interested in, or just getting some little puzzle books or joke books that they might really enjoy and popping them inside their stocking. The next one is to get some glow-in-the-dark toys, such as some glow-in-the-dark bouncy balls or glow-in-the-dark stars that they can put in their room somewhere. Maybe like a flashy torch or a flashy toy or something like that. Little things that they can have at night when they're in bed. If it's too dark for them or they feel a bit scared, they've got this little toy that they can play with that's going to light up and make them a little bit more at ease. The next one is to put in some hair accessories. So if you've got someone who loves hair accessories like hairbands, scrunchies, clips, bows, anything like that, you could put some of those inside their stocking. If you've got boys and got short hair, like my son has very short hair, then you could get them some hats or bobble hats or something like that that will keep them warm in the winter. And the final one in this category I briefly touched on before is to get some puzzle games. So some word searches or Sudokus or kids crossword puzzles or dot to dots or something like that that they would really enjoy. Once Christmas is over, I don't know about you, but my son has all these lovely things that he's got from myself or other family members, and I still get I'm bored. So by having these little books in his stocking, then I can say, well, go and grab your crossword or go and grab your word search and see if you can complete that in a set amount of time. And they're really good and easy things to put in a stocking. Moving on to the next category, which is 9 to 12-year-olds. So let's get into this one. The first thing that you could put in their stocking is some DIY science kind of kit. So I noticed the other day when I went Christmas shopping with my mum that I saw these crystal glow in the dark kits that you can make, or you can make your own bath bomb, or you can make your own this or make your own that, and these are great little things that you could put in a stocking. Now, I did have the bigger versions, but they also had some smaller versions, just like the magic tricks I spoke about before. So maybe you could put a few of those little things inside their stocking to see if it's something they enjoy before you go out and you buy something a little bit bigger for them. The next thing you could put in their stocking is some keychains, depending on what they're interested in, whether they're interested in Disney, Frozen, Pokemon, Mario, Star Wars, or anything that they particularly like. You could buy a keychain that they could put on their school bag, they could put on their keys if they have their own house key. But buying a keychain for them, or maybe even if you want to get a little keychain with a lovely quote on, or you could even get a personalised keychain, either with their name on, or they could have one with a photo of them and a friend, or a photo of their dog, or anything like that that you think they would like. But putting some little keychains that aren't overly expensive in a stocking is something that they would like. The next thing that you could put in their stocking is some trading cards. So if your child collects any kind of cards, like my son at the moment is collecting football cards, but he has also like Pokemon cards as well. So if there's any particular cards that your child likes to collect, maybe just putting a couple of packets of those in their stocking is something that they're really going to like. The next one is to put in some notebooks. So my son likes a notebook. He likes to write things down now and again, but my nieces absolutely love notebooks. They like to make lists. They like to write notes to themselves and to other people. They like to draw things. So it's good to also get them some plain notepads with no lines on it. And I also get them lined notepads so they can write in that as well. But getting them some notepads, you can get all different ones now. You can get some with just a lovely quote on. You can get some which has got like fur over the top, but they might like some notepads in their stocking. The next one is to add in some fidget toys or even some stress balls. So my son loves fidget toys and my youngest niece loves fidget toys as well. And you can pick them up relatively cheap. If you've got more than one child, maybe get a big box of fidget toys and then split the fidgets in between each stocking. And that's going to save you money in the long run. But fidget toys are a great stocking filler. The next one, you could put in some novelty socks, or even you could put in some slippers. So you can just get some simple slip-on slippers in B&M for like £2-3. You could also get some novelty socks. So you could get some Pokemon socks or princess socks or any other kind of novelty sock for them and put them in their stocking as well. The next one, like before, you could put in some puzzle books for them, crosswords, Sudoku, word searches, some kind of puzzle book that they could do when they're bored or when they just need to get away from the world for a little while, because even though they're young kids, they still need that little bit of downtime, and putting in some puzzle books or even colouring books will really benefit them. The next one is to put in some art supplies. So this could be some gel pens. You could get those scratch pads. You could get some craft kits like cross stitching or something like that they could do. I used to love cross stitch when I was that age. And you can even get some diamond art from Poundland for only £3. So putting those kind of things in their stocking, we'll see if that's something that they enjoy doing. The next one is to put in some friendship bracelets. So you could buy friendship bracelets ready-made for you, or you can even now buy the kits where they can make their own friendship bracelets as well, which will give them something to do over the holidays. So when they go back to school in January, they can hand those friendship bracelets out to their friends. And the final one in this category is to actually put some travel games in there. So like Mini Connect 4, but they're called 4 in a row now, or Mini Frustration. I have travel games that I take with me when we go on holiday to Butlins or anywhere. So putting some travel games in their stocking. And if you ever go on a little weekend break with them, you can ask them to bring their travel games, or maybe they can play those little games with their siblings if they wanted to. Moving on to the next category, and we are going to the 13 to 17 year olds. Now I'm nowhere near this category just yet with my son, but let's get into what you can buy 13 to 17 year olds for their stocking. The first thing you can do is buy some skincare products. So this could be some face mask, could be lip balm, it can be moisturizer, it could be Vaseline. But my son just has some Vaseline to put on his lips because his lips crack in the winter. My little nieces like to have bath bombs in there. You could also get some stick-on nails as well, or some nail stickers. that you could put in their stockings if you wanted to. At this age, your child might have earbuds, or they just might be using old school headphones. So maybe buying them a little case to put those earbuds in or those earphones in that they can have in their pocket or their bag. So if they do walk home from school, they can get their earbuds out and they can put that in while they're walking home from school. The next thing you could put in their stocking is some tech gadgets, like little mini tech gadgets, like a phone stand or some LED lights that they could put around their desk or anything like that. There's lots of little gadgets that you can buy in B&M as well. I'm not so sure about Home Bargains, but B&M usually do a lot of those mini gadgets that you could put in their stocking. The next one you could put in their stocking is a gift card. So is there a particular store or is there a coffee shop that they go to? I mean, I wasn't drinking coffee at that age, but I don't know what kids do these days. But could you actually give them a £10 gift card in their stocking to go to their favourite store? Next thing you could put in their stocking is some stationery. So at that age, they're obviously in school or they're about to go off to college. So putting some stationery in their stockings is really going to be helpful for them when they do go back to school. You could get them personalised if you wanted to. You don't have to buy novelty ones unless your child likes that kind of stuff, then you can buy novelty stationery. But just having some basic stationery in their stocking ready for when they go back to school is something that they might find useful. The next thing you could put in their stocking is some jewellery and accessories. So I went to Home Bargains the other day, Christmas shopping with my mum, and I saw lots of little jewellery pieces like bracelets, some earrings, a necklace. There was lots of different jewellery and accessories that you could put in their stockings. It wasn't overly expensive. The next thing you could put in their stocking is some travel games, like I said in the previous video. Now, I don't know what kids these ages do, but they might go on the train with their friends somewhere, or they might go and hang out with their friends somewhere, and maybe they want to take some games with them to do while they're on their journey. So this could be Uno, it could be just some playing cards, it could be some basic travel games that they could play, but putting those kind of things in their stocking is going to be great when they're going out with their friends and they've got nothing else to do. The next thing that you could put in their stocking is some socks. So for me at that age, I would love some fluffy bed socks to keep my feet warm at night, or you could just buy some novelty socks, or you could just buy some socks. I always got socks and underwear in my stocking every year. Every single year. And a lot of people say that you shouldn't put socks and underwear in the stocking because that's an everyday thing. But I always grew up with like, you got socks and underwear in your stocking. Let me know if you grew up like that as well. And do you still put socks and underwear in your kid's stocking every single year? Let me know in the comment box below. The next thing you could put in their stocking is some snacks and treats. So what is their favourite chocolate? What's their favourite sweets? Put in a selection of different snacks and treats in their stocking, which is just for them. They don't have to share it with anybody. It's a great stocking filler. I know I do it all the time. My son's got loads of snacks and treats for his stocking this year, but it's just his and he won't have it all in one go. But also buying it all now means I don't have to buy it throughout the year because he'll just have that for the next 3 or 4 months. And the final thing in this category is hobby supplies. So does your child at that age have any particular hobby? Do they like doing crafts? They like doing diamond art? Do they like drawing? Anything like that? What is their particular hobby that they enjoy doing? Buying some supplies, buying some merchandise, buying different things to do with that hobby and put it in their stocking is something that they're going to love. Moving on to the next category, which is women. So anyone over the age of 18, women, this is something that you could put in their stocking. The first thing you could put in is some little mini candles or even wax melts if they have a burner. So I absolutely love receiving candles. My favourite at this time of year is the gingerbread candle, but I know that my family will buy me a few little candles to have around Christmas time because they know I absolutely love them. And you can buy them very cheaply in places like Home Bargains. The small ones are only 99p, or you can buy the bigger ones for £2.99. But there's lots of different shapes and sizes of candles that you can have. So putting some mini candles in a stocking for a woman is something that they will love. The next thing you could put in a stocking for a woman is lip balm and lip gloss. So any kind of lip balm, especially in the winter months, a lot of people do get chapped lips. You could put some Vaseline in. If you know a particular lip gloss that they like, or do they just like to have a cheap one just to have when they're out and about, maybe just put in something like that in their stocking is something that they would like. Also, you could put in some small notebooks or even a small journal. So A lot of people these days do use their phone to make notes. I'm old school. I like to write things down. If I write it down, I'm going to remember. If I type it in my phone, I'm going to forget. So putting some little notebooks with a pen, or even just a little journal that they can write their thoughts and feelings down if they're going through a rough time, putting those things in their stocking, they're really going to find that useful. The next thing you could put in a woman's stocking is hand cream. Now, I feel like my hands are horrible and I feel like it's the oldest part of me. So I feel like my hands look the oldest part of me right now at 41. So putting some hand cream and making sure you're keeping your hands moisturized all the time is really important for everybody, especially for women as they age. So putting some little tubs of hand cream in their stocking that they can have in their handbag, they're really going to appreciate that. The next thing you could put in their stocking is some earrings or bracelets. Like I said in the previous category, there's lots of different things in Home Bargains and in B&M especially. So if you have a spiritual person that you are getting a stocking for, then there are lots of spiritual jewelry and crystals and all that kind of stuff in B&M. You could just get them some little mini stud earrings if they wear earrings, and put them in their stocking as well. The next thing you could put in a woman's stocking is a little compact mirror. So women do like to check themselves in the mirror, especially if they've got something in their eye or they've been to lunch and they want to make sure there's nothing in their teeth. Having a little compact mirror that you could pop in your handbag is something that they will find very beneficial. The next thing, like in most of the stockings that I've talked about, is to put some snacks in. Now, because they're older, they're not kids anymore, you could just put in your basic cheap little snacks, or you could buy something a little bit more expensive, a little bit more gourmet, and buy in those kind of snacks for them. It's something that they particularly like, but they might not buy often because it might be a little bit too expensive, or they might feel like, well, it's just a treat every now and again. So those little treats now and again, maybe put a few of those in their stocking. The next thing is cozy socks. Now, we all like socks. Like I said earlier, socks and pants is something I've always had in my stocking. But I think when you're a bit older, you like to have the cozy, fluffy socks. Big, thick, cozy socks. And you can get them relatively cheap and in packs of 3 or 4 now. So putting a few of those in their stocking. I know when I used to get my stockings, I used to love having fluffy socks. Is any bath essentials. So putting some bubble bath in, some bath bombs in, putting some essential oils for the bath in, or maybe even some Epsom salts in their stocking as well, so they can really have a good pamper and a nice long hot soak in the bath. And the last one of this category is to put in some little mini bottles of perfume. So these are just little bottles that you can just chuck in your bag, that if you feel a bit hot, a bit sweaty, then you just spray some perfume on just to make yourself feel a little bit better. Again, you can buy these in any shops now, but little tiny bottles of perfume for them, I think that most women will appreciate. And on to the final section now, which is the men's section for their stocking fillers, which is always the hardest part because men are difficult to buy for. Let me know if you find men difficult to buy for as well. So these are some stocking fillers for men if you are doing a man's stocking filler this year. The first one is to buy some kind of mini tool or gadget. So men love gadgets, they love tools, they love all that kind of stuff. And you can buy lots of different things in Home Bargains and B&M. The bargain stores are the place to go when it comes to stocking fillers. And I've seen this pen that turns into a leveler, and it turns into a screwdriver, and it turns into all different kinds of things. And I think it was only like £2.99, maybe a bit more. Don't quote me on that. But buying some kind of tool, some kind of gadget for them and putting in their stocking is something that they will just play with for hours. The next one, if you have a man in your life that has a beard, my brother has the biggest beard ever. It's huge, his beard. Putting in some beard care products. You can even buy one of those joke things now where they attach it to their t-shirt and then they attach it to the mirror. So when they're trimming their beard, it all goes inside this like hammock thing rather than just all over the sink and making it dirty. You could just buy some beard spray or beard cream or anything that they use in particular, and you can put that kind of stuff in their stocking. The next thing you could put in there is some tech accessories. So like a phone stand or some kind of light, or I don't really know. I don't have a man in my life apart from my son, and he's little, so I don't have to worry about this. But putting some little phone gadgets in or some little tech gadgets and stuff in their stocking is something, again, that they would really like. The next one, again, like all of them, is putting in some snacks for them. Putting in some fun snacks that they don't maybe have all the time, things that they said they'd like to try. Putting all that in. You could even do like the hottest chili chip, or you could do hot chili sauce or something along those lines if they're a more savoury than sweet person. But putting some fun snacks in a man's stocking filler is something that they are probably going to eat straight away. The next one, again, like always, socks. Socks and pants, but fun socks, maybe some silly socks. I know you can get those ones on the bottom. Don't talk to me, I'm watching football. I got my dad some a few years back, said I'm not sleeping, I'm just resting my eyes, or something like that. Some novelty fun socks that you could put in their stocking. The next one is to put in some small games or puzzles. So a good Rubik's Cube or something that they've really got to use their brains for would be really good, because men like to solve things. So giving them a puzzle where they have to solve something in their stocking is something they're gonna love. Maybe even get one of those wooden boxes where you've got to make the ball go around a maze to be able to open it, or something like that. So maybe getting them some little puzzles that they can do, that maybe they can solve. I think that will keep them occupied for a while. The next one is to put in a keychain or a wallet. If they need a new wallet or they need a new place to put all their cards in, maybe you could put that in their stocking. Maybe you could put a keychain in their favourite football team. Or if you are getting a keychain for a dad, maybe you could get a keychain with the picture of the kids in, or number one dad on, or anything like that. But maybe keychain or wallet or something along those lines that you could put in their stocking. The next thing you could put in there is some little mini bottles of cologne, or aftershave as we call it in the UK. So maybe you could put a few little bottles of that in their stocking, just like with the women with perfume, having those little bottles that they could put in their sports bag or something that they can just use quick, that's not going to take up a lot of room. The next one is to put in some coffee, tea or hot chocolate pods or little packets. So maybe they want to try all these different hot chocolates. Maybe you could just buy some little packets of hot chocolate, or maybe they can take those things to work with them and then just get some hot water and then just put the tea bags in and just do it that way, and it's going to save them a little bit of money. But if the person you're getting a stocking for likes coffee, tea or particularly hot chocolate, then buying a few little packets that you can get anywhere at the moment and popping them in their stocking. If you've got a big box, open the box up and then pop it in that way, rather than actually give them it as a gift, if that's something you wanted to do. And the final one for a man's stocking is a bottle opener or some kind of bar tool. So if you have someone in your family that has their own like bar in the back garden, or they have a bar shed or anything like that, getting a personalized bottle opener or getting some kind of neon light for their bar or anything, just a small one, you could put all that in their little stocking for them. So that is my stocking filler ideas for all different ages. I hope some of it has helped and gave you some ideas of what you can do. Is there anything that you put in a stocking that I have not mentioned? Then do let us know in the comment box below so we can all learn from one another. And what age did you stop getting a stocking? What was the age where you didn't get a stocking anymore? Was you 18? Was you 30? Was you 10? Let me know in the comment box below. If you found value from this video, then don't forget to share it with somebody else who might also find value from it. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps YouTube send it out to more people that also might like this video. And make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss any more future videos from me. I hope whenever you're watching this, you're having a good morning, good day or good evening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.